Greetings, noble travelers. This is Night Wanderer. Imagine a jungle clearing where Maya priests chant beneath a star-strewn sky, their fires flickering with tales of cosmic gods. Tonight, an ancient song draws us into the heart of Maya lore. Through sacred cenotes, past temples carved with glyphs, to the dance of hero twins under the gaze of Hunab-Ku. I'm certain you've never heard these tales before. Expect vibrant rituals, woven crafts, and feasts under the stars. If you enjoy this, please like, subscribe, and comment where you're watching from. It truly helps. Ready? Let the Maya's tales sweep us into a deep, enchanted slumber. The jungle trembles under a sky ablaze with 1,000 falling stars, their fiery trails streaking across the endless black void like the tears of a dying cosmos, illuminating the dense canopy below with an otherworldly glow. The air crackles with an electric charge, thick with the scent of ozone and the musky perfume of ancient ceiba trees, their roots clawing deep into the earth as if anchoring the world against an unseen chaos. A lone shaman stands atop a pyramid of weathered stone, his body painted with streaks of crimson and obsidian, his eyes wide with awe as he beats a drum carved from jaguar hide, its deep thuds reverberating through the night. The rhythm calls forth a vision, a primal dance unfolding in the heavens, where the gods Tepo and Gukumats weave their magic over a formless void. Tonight, we plunge into the heart of this celestial ballet, where creation ignites from nothingness, a spectacle of divine power that pulses with the lifeblood of the Maya world. Lean close, listeners, and let the drum's beat carry you into a dream where gods dance and the void trembles. In the abyss before time, where silence reigned as a suffocating shroud, the void stretched infinite and unyielding, a canvas of darkness untouched by light or form. The shaman's drum quickens, its thuds a heartbeat that mirrors the stirring of the cosmos, and his voice rises, chanting the names of Tepo, heart of the sky, and Gukumats, feathered serpent, gods born from the ether, their essences intertwine like the roots and branches of the ceiba. The air shimmers, the falling stars halting mid-descent, their light bending to reveal two ethereal figures hovering above the primordial waters. Tepu, a radiant form of pure intellect, his body a constellation of shimmering points, gazes into the void with eyes that pierce the darkness, while Gukumats, a sinuous serpent wreathed in emerald and gold feathers, coils with a wisdom older than the stars. The shaman's hands tremble, his chant growing fierce. From the silence they rose, their dance a spark to ignite the world. The dance begins, a mesmerizing swirl of divine energy that sets the void ablaze. Tepo extends his arms, his fingers tracing arcs of light that ripple across the waters, each gesture a command to the chaos below, while Gukumat slithers through the air, his feathered tail whipping storms into being, his hiss a song that shapes the wind. The shaman's drum thunders, its rhythm syncing with the god's movements, and the jungle below erupts in response. Trees groan as their trunks twist upward, rivers carve their paths through the earth, mountains thrust skyward like the spines of some ancient beast awakening. The falling stars resume their descent, not as destruction but as seeds, their fiery trails planting the first glimmer of dawn across the horizon. The air fills with the scent of rain and molten rock, a symphony of creation that echoes through the void. The gods dance a furious ballet of light and shadow. Yet the void resists, its darkness a living entity that lashes back, tendrils of black mist rising to challenge the god's will. The shaman's voice cracks with urgency, his drum beats a war cry as Tepeu and Gukumats lock eyes, their dance intensifying. Tepeu summons a radiant orb, its light a blazing sun that sears the mist, while Gukumats unleashes a torrent of feathers, each one a blade that slices through the darkness, their edges glinting like obsidian. The clash is cataclysmic, the waters boiling, the air splitting with thunderous roars, and the jungle trembles as the void's tendrils writhe, their black forms dissolving into wisps under the god's onslaught. The shaman leaps, his feet pounding the pyramid stone, his chant a plea, "Hold fast, creators, bind the chaos." The stars above flare, their light a chorus of approval, and the void surrenders, its darkness receding to the edges of the newborn world. From this victory, the gods' dance evolves, a rhythm of harmony that shapes the cosmos with breathtaking precision. Tepeu's light carves the sky into realms, day for the sun, night for the moon, and the starry expanse for the constellations that guide the Maya. Gukumats's feathers drift downward, each one transforming into a bird, a fish, a jaguar, their forms leaping into life across the land and waters, their cries a hymn to the creators. The shaman's drum softens, its beat a lullaby, and the jungle below blooms. Vines unfurl with vibrant flowers, rivers sing with the splash of life. The earth pulses with the heartbeat of a world alive. The air grows sweet with the fragrance of cacao and copal, a sacred offering to the gods, and the falling stars settle into the sky, their light a permanent testament to the dance's triumph. But the gods' work is not without peril, for the void's remnants linger, a shadow that whispers of rebellion. The shaman's voice darkens, his drum beats a warning as Tepeu and Gukumats pause, their forms hovering over a world now teeming with life. A tremor shakes the pyramid, the jungle groaning, and the shaman sees a vision, a black mist rising from the earth, its tendrils seeking to reclaim the void's dominion. The god's dance shifts, a defensive spiral, Tepeu's light clashing with the mist, Gukumats's coils tightening to crush its form. The battle is swift, the air crackling with divine fury, and the mist retreats, sealed beneath the earth's crust, its whispers muted but never silenced. The shaman sighs, his drum slowing. The dance holds the balance, the void tame but watchful. The climax of the dance approaches, a moment of unity that seals the world's birth. Tepu and Gukumats join hands, or light and feather intertwine, above the newborn earth, their forms merging into a radiant spiral that pulses with the heartbeat of creation. The shaman's chant rises to a crescendo, his drum a thunderous roar, as the spiral unleashes a wave of energy, the final stroke that births the maize fields, the sacred cenotes, the pyramids that will rise under the stars. The jungle erupts in celebration, the cries of animals blending with the wind, the stars blazing brighter as if applauding the gods' triumph. The air hums with life, the scent of rain-soaked earth and blooming saber flowers filling the night, and the void, though subdued, remains a silent partner in the dance, its shadow a mystery for the Maya to unravel. The dance ends, the gods retreating to the heavens, their forms dissolving into the constellations that watch over the world they forged. The shaman lowers his drum, his breath heavy, his eyes reflecting the starlit sky, and the fire beside him dwindles to embers, its glow a cradle for the tale's end. Artemi, though distant in time, feels the rhythm in his bones, the storm within him echoing the dance's power, the scar on his cheek a bridge to this mythic past. The jungle settles, the cicadas resuming their song, and the stars above seem to pulse, their light a promise of stories yet to come. The shaman's voice fades, a whisper carried on the wind. The dance lives in the stars, in the blood of the Maya, a legacy under the eternal night. Let the embers of the shaman's fire guide you seekers into a dream where the dance of Tepu and Gukumats weaves a celestial fire across the void of your slumber. The jungle pulses with the heartbeat of a torrential downpour, rain cascading from a sky roiled with thunderous clouds, each flash of lightning illuminating the ancient ruins of a forgotten Maya temple, half swallowed by vines and moss. The air is alive, saturated with the earthy aroma of wet soil and the sharp tang of ozone, while the rhythmic patter of raindrops drums against the stone, echoing the chant of a lone priestess who kneels at the temple's summit. Her voice rises above the storm, a haunting melody woven with the rustle of ceiba leaves, her hands clutching a handful of golden maize kernels that glow faintly under the lightning's glare. Around her, the temple's carvings, depicting gods and maize stalks, seem to writhe in the flickering light, as if awakening to tell the tale of Hunab-Ku, the one true God, whose divine hands shape the maize people from the earth's bounty. Tonight, we dive into this tempestuous birth, where life springs from grain under a sky torn by creation's fury. Close your eyes, listeners, and let the rain's rhythm lull you into a dream where gods and maize entwine. In the wake of Tepu and Gukumats's celestial dance, the world lay vibrant yet incomplete, its mountains towering, its rivers singing, but its soul, humanity, still a whisper in the void. The priestess's chant deepens, her voice a thread that stitches the storm to the past, as she invokes Hunab-Ku, the heart of all existence, a God whose presence is felt in the pulse of the earth itself. The rain intensifies, each drop a note in a symphony of creation, and the temple's stones hum, their carvings glowing with a golden light that mirrors the maze in her hands. The tale begins with the god's frustration. Tepu and Gukumats had failed with mud and wood, their creations crumbling like sand castles under the tide. The priestess's eyes gleam, her voice rising. Hunab Ku descended, his form a radiant mist, his voice a thunder that called the earth to yield its treasure, maize, the sacred grain. The vision unfolds, the temple's carvings animating under the storm's light. Hunab Ku, a towering figure wreathed in golden vapor, strides across the newborn land, his steps shaking the mountains, his gaze piercing the jungle's depths. The rain softens, a gentle drizzle now, as the priestess recounts how Hunab Ku knelt beside a field of wild maize, its stalks swaying under the storm's breath, their kernels a promise of life. With a gesture, he summoned Tepo and Gukumats, their forms coalescing from the mist, and together they gathered the maize, their divine hands plucking the golden ears with reverence. The air fills with the scent of roasted corn, a sacred aroma that rises from the temple's heart, and the priestess scatters her kernels, each one glowing as it touches the wet stone, a ritual echoing the god's act. They ground the maize into a dough, she sings, with water drawn from the cenotes depths, their fingers shaping life from the earth's gift. The creation takes shape, a breathtaking spectacle under the tempest's roar. Hunab Ku molds the first figure, his hands pressing the maize dough with a tenderness that belies his power, the paste taking form, legs that stand firm, arms that reach for the sky, a face with eyes that spark with the light of the stars. Tepu breathes life into the form, his light infusing the figure with intellect, while Gukumats weaves feathers into its spirit, granting agility and wisdom. The priestess's chant quickens, her hands mimicking the god's movements, and the temple's carvings flare. Maize people rising from the earth, their skin the color of sun-ripened fields, their hair like the silk of the corn, their voices a chorus that rises above the rain. The storm pauses, the clouds parting to reveal a jagged bolt of lightning that strikes the temple, its energy surging into the carvings, animating them into a dance of creation, the maize people stepping forth to greet the world. But the birth is not without strife, for the maize people's perfection stirs a divine jealousy. The priestess's voice lowers, a warning in her tone, as the rain resumes, heavier now, drumming a warlike beat. Hunab Ku watches his creation with pride, but Tepu and Gukumats grow uneasy, their earlier failures haunting them. The maize people, with their clear eyes and steady hands, gaze into the heavens, deciphering the stars' secrets, their minds a mirror to the god's own wisdom. The temple trembles, the carvings shifting to show the god's counsel, Tepu's light dims, Gukumatsu's feathers droop, and Hunabku stands resolute, his golden mist a shield. The priestess scatters more maize, her voice a plea. The gods feared their equals, and Hunabku intervened, his thunder a decree. A lightning flash illuminates the scene, the gods' hands weaving a mist to cloud the maze people's vision, a veil that softens their sight, leaving them with a humble reverence for the cosmos. The creation stabilizes, a balance struck under the storm's fading roar. Hunabku steps back, his golden form dissolving into the rain, his voice a lingering echo. Tend the maize, honor the earth, and the stars shall guide you. The priestess's chant softens, her hands still, as the temple's carvings settle, maize people kneeling in fields, their hands harvesting the golden grain, their voices rising in a song of gratitude that blends with the rain's rhythm. The jungle around the temple comes alive, jaguars prowling the edges, parrots calling from the canopy, the earth pulsing with the life Hunabku bestowed. The air grows sweet with the scent of wet maize and blooming orchids, a fragrance that fills the night, and the storm recedes, the clouds parting to reveal a sky ablaze with stars, each one a witness to the maize people's birth. The priestess rises, her ritual complete, the maize kernels at her feet now glowing faintly, a tribute to Hunabku's legacy. The tale shifts to the maize people's first dawn, the temple's carvings showing them building homes of adobe, planting fields under the stars, their lives a dance with the earth. The rain ceases, the jungle settling into a quiet hum, and the priestess whispers, "From maize they came, from maize they thrive, under the gaze of the eternal sky." The carvings fade, the temple's glow dimming, but the story lingers, a thread woven into the night. Artemy, though far removed, feels the storm within him resonate with the maize people's song, the scar on his cheek a bridge to this mythic birth, its pulse a reminder of life forged from grain and divine will. The stars wheel overhead, their light filtering through the temple's ruins, casting patterns on the wet stone that mirror the maize stalks. The priestess sits, her drum silent, her eyes reflecting the cosmos, and the jungle breathes with the memory of creation. The night deepens, the cicada's song a lullaby, and the temple stands as a sentinel, its carvings a silent promise of tales yet to unfold. The maize people's legacy lives in the air, in the scent of the earth, in the stars that guide their descendants, a story that cradles the listener into a dream of golden fields under a thunderous sky. Let the rain's echo guide you seekers into a slumber where the maize people's song weaves a harvest of dreams beneath the watchful stars. The air hangs heavy with the scent of blood and incense, a crimson dawn breaking over the jagged peaks of a Maya mountain range, where the first light ignites the mist-shrouded valleys below, like a battlefield awakening from slumber. The wind carries the distant wail of a conch shell, its mournful note spiraling upward, blending with the guttural roars of jaguars prowling the cliffs. At the summit, a circle of warriors clad in jaguar pelts and obsidian armor stands around a fire pit, its flames licking the sky, casting shadows that twist into the forms of gods and demons. Among them, a grizzled elder raises a staff topped with a skull, his voice a growl that cuts through the dawn, reciting the saga of Hun Apu and Ixpalanque, the hero twins whose daring defied the lords of Xibalba. Tonight we plunge into their epic deeds, a tale of courage and trickery that reshaped the cosmos, set against a dawn that mirrors their fiery triumph. Lean in, listeners, and let the warrior's fire ignite a dream where heroes dance with death. In the heart of the maize people's world, born from Hunabku's sacred grain, two brothers emerged, Hun-Apu, the hunter with eyes like the sun, and Ixpalanque, the dancer with a shadow's grace, children of the goddess Exquic, conceived from the spittle of a severed head in a tale as wild as the jungle itself. The elder's staff thumps the ground, its skull rattling, and the fire flares, casting shadows of the twins' birth. A ball court where their father, Hun-Apu, fell to the lords of Xibalba, his head hung on a calabash tree, its fruit dripping with life. The warriors chant, their voices a war song. From death's seed the twins arose, their blood a fire to challenge the underworld. The mist swirls, the dawn's light revealing a vision. Two boys, their faces painted with black and red, wielding blowguns and a ball, their laughter echoing as they hone their skills in the maize fields, unaware of the destiny that awaits. The tale ignites with their call to Xibalba, the lords of death, one death and seven death, summoning the twins to a game that masks a trap. The elder's voice rises, a growl of anticipation, as the firelight dances with shadows of a treacherous descent. Hun-Apu and Ixpalanque stepping into a cavern, its walls dripping with blood-red sap, the air thick with the stench of decay. The Lord's first test is the dark house, where a storm of mosquitoes buzzes like a living cloud, their stings a torment. The twins, undaunted, craft a mosquito net from vines, their hands swift, their minds sharper, outwitting the swarm as the elder thumps his staff. Cunning was their shield, their first victory, a whisper in the dark. The warriors roar, the fire flaring and the mist parts to show the Lord's fury, their skeletal faces contorted as the twins emerge unscathed. The trials escalate, each house a gauntlet of death. In the razor house, blades whirl like a cyclone, their edges glinting with menace. But the twins summon a chorus of birds, their songs lulling the blades to stillness, their dance a defiance that leaves the Lord seething. The elders' chant quickens, with song and step they tamed the steel. The firelight mirrors the scene, blades falling like petals, the twins' shadows leaping through the chaos. Next comes the cold house, its icy breath freezing the air, where they ignite a blaze from hidden embers, their warmth a beacon that melts the frost, the warriors' cheers shaking the mountain. The jaguar house roars with beasts, their eyes glowing like coals, but the twins feed them maize cakes laced with honey, turning predators into purring allies. The elders, staff pounding, their wit conquered the wild. The climax looms as the lords demand a ball game, the court a blood-soaked arena where Hunhunapu fell. The elder's voice drops, a tense hush falling over the warriors as the fire dims to a sinister glow. Hunapu and Expalanque step onto the court, their ball a skull-like orb that thunders with each strike, their movements a dance of precision and power. The lords cheat, the ground splitting to swallow Hunapu, his head severed and hung on a tree, but Expalanque's resolve burns brighter. The mist swirls, showing Expalanque crafting a substitute head from a gourd, its grin mocking the lords, while he ventures into Xibalba's depths to retrieve his brother's spirit. The elder's staff trembles. From death's grip, he stole life back. The warriors gasp, the fire flaring as Hunapu's head rejoins his body. The twins bond a force that defies the underworld. The final act is a spectacle of trickery that seals their legend. The lords, enraged, demand a sacrifice, and the twins comply, Expalanque offering his heart, its beat stopping under a priest's knife, only to rise again, whole and laughing, as Hunapu emerges from the shadows. The elders' chant explodes. They died and lived, a jest to shatter death. The fire roars, the mist parting to reveal the lords' collapse, their power crumbling as the twins' resurrection drains Xibalba's strength, the sun bursting forth as a gift. To the maze people, the warriors leap, their staffs clashing, the mountain echoing with triumph, the dawn now a blaze of victory under a sky cleared of clouds. The tale winds down, the fire settling to embers, the elder lowering his staff, his voice a weary yet proud murmur. Hunapu and Expalanque ascended, their deeds etched in the stars, their light a guide for the Maya. The mist fades, the jungle waking with the calls of macaws, the scent of damp earth and blood incense lingering. Artemy, though distant, feels the twins' fire in his storm, the scar on his cheek pulsing with their courage, a bridge to this mythic dawn. The warriors disperse, the mountain standing silent, its peaks a throne for the twins' legacy, the sky a canvas of their triumph. Let the embers of the warriors' fire guide you, seekers, into a dawn where the hero twins' deeds weave a constellation of courage across your dreams. The first light of dawn creeps over the towering pyramids of Tikal, a golden thread piercing the misty veil that cloaks the jungle, where the air hums with the awakening calls of howler monkeys and the distant trill of quetzal birds. The horizon ignites with a fiery glow, casting long shadows across the stepped stone terraces, their surfaces glistening with dew, that reflects the rising sun like 1,000 tiny mirrors. The scent of roasting cacao and burning copal rises from the city below, mingling with the earthy aroma of wet foliage as the rhythmic beat of drums begins to pulse through the stillness, a heartbeat that stirs the people from their slumber. At the summit of the Great Pyramid, a high priest adorned with a headdress of sunburst feathers and jade beads stands, his arms outstretched to greet Kinich Ahau, the sun god whose fiery eye now crests the skyline. Tonight, we immerse ourselves in the vibrant feast of Tikal, a celebration of light and life under the watchful gaze of the solar deity. Draw near, listeners, and let the drum's rhythm guide you into a dream where the sun's glory dances across the stars. The city awakens, a living tapestry of color and sound, as the people of Tikal gather in the central plaza, their white cotton tunics and skirts adorned with intricate embroidery of sun motifs that shimmer in the dawn's light. The drums intensify, their beats a call to worship, joined by the haunting wail of conch shells and the clatter of turtle shell rattles, a symphony that reverberates off the pyramid walls. The high priest's voice booms, a chant that rises with the sun. Kinich Ahau, Lord of the day, bringer of maize and warmth, accept our feast. The plaza transforms, tables laden with offerings, golden maize cakes drizzled with honey, steaming pots of cacao spiced with chili, and platters of roasted turkey adorned with quetzal feathers, each dish a tribute to the sun's life-giving power. The air thickens with the scent of the feast, a heady mix of sweet and spice, as dancers emerge, their movements a fluid tribute, their costumes a blaze of red and yellow mimicking the sun's rays. The ceremony begins with a procession, the high priest leading a line of nobles and warriors down the pyramid steps, their feet striking the stone in unison, a thunderous descent that shakes the earth. The crowd parts, their faces painted with yellow ochre to honor Kinich Ahau, their eyes wide with reverence as the priest raises a obsidian mirror, its surface catching the sun's first full ray, projecting a beam of light that dances across the plaza. The dancers follow, their bodies adorned with shells that jingle with each step, their arms weaving patterns that mimic the sun's journey across the sky. The drums quicken, the rattles join in, and the chant swells. O Kinich Ahau, your light feeds our fields, your fire warms our hearths. The mirror's beam strikes a ceremonial altar, igniting a pile of copal resin, its smoke spiraling upward like a prayer, the scent a bridge between earth and heaven. The feast erupts into a spectacle of devotion, the plaza a stage for the sun god's glory. A troupe of acrobats leaps from the pyramid's base, their bodies painted with sunbursts, their flips and twists a daring dance that defies gravity, each movement a prayer offered to Kinich Ahau. The crowd gasps, their voices rising in awe as the acrobats land with precision, their hands raising bowls of cacao to the sky, the liquid glistening like molten gold under the sun's gaze. The high priest steps forward, his headdress casting a shadow shaped like a solar disk, and pours a libation of cacao onto the altar, the dark liquid seeping into the stone, a sacrifice that draws a collective murmur of approval. The drums pound, the dancers spin faster, and the air fills with the scent of roasted maize and sweet cacao, a feast that nourishes both body and spirit. The ritual deepens with a storytelling circle, elders seated around the altar, their voices weaving tales of Kinich Ahau's benevolence. One elder, his face wrinkled like the bark of an ancient saber, recounts how the sun god once descended to earth, his form a blazing warrior who drove back a plague of shadows that threatened the maize fields. The firelight dances, casting shadows of a radiant figure, wielding a spear of light, the crowd leaning in, their breaths held as the tale unfolds. Another elder sings of a time when Kinich Ahau's absence plunged Tikal into darkness, the people's prayers summoning his return, the sun rising with a roar that shook the pyramids. The drums soften, the rattles pausing, and the plaza falls silent, the story a reminder of the sun's fragile gift, its light a thread that binds the Maya to the cosmos. The feast reaches its peak with a communal offering, the people lining up to place their gifts, maize cobs, jade figurines, and woven mats before the altar, each item a piece of their labor offered to Kinich Ahau. The high priest raises a staff topped with a sun disk, its rays carved from gold, and leads a chant that rises into a crescendo. Son of our fathers, light of our children, accept our hearts. The crowd joins, their voices a thunderous hymn, the dancers leaping higher, the acrobats spinning with renewed vigor, the plaza a sea of movement and light. The mirror catches the sun's zenith, its beam splitting into a rainbow that arcs across the sky, a sign of the gods' favor. The warriors beating their chests, the air thick with the scent of copal and roasted meat. As the sun climbs higher, the feast shifts to a celebration of unity, the nobles sharing cacao with the common folk, the warriors dancing with the children, their laughter blending with the drum beats. A group of musicians joins, their flutes trilling like birds, their drums a heartbeat that syncs with the sun's rhythm, the plaza alive with a joyous chaos. The high priest ascends the pyramid again, his shadow a solar silhouette, and releases a flock of quetzal birds, their green and red feathers flashing as they soar, a living tribute to Kinich Ahau's brilliance. The crowd cheers, the air filled with the scent of sweat and celebration, the feast a testament to the sun's enduring power. The day wanes, the sun dipping toward the horizon, and the ceremony concludes with a quiet ritual. The high priest extinguishes the altar fire, its last embers glowing like dying stars, and the people gather around, their faces serene, their hands joined in a circle. The elder's voice returns, a soft lullaby. Kinich Ahau rests, but his light lives in us. Under the stars he watches. The drums fade, the rattles still, and the plaza empties. the jungle reclaiming its silence, the scent of cacao lingering like a memory. Artemy, though not present, feels the sun's warmth in his storm, the scar on his cheek pulsing with the rhythm of Tikal's devotion, a bridge to this ancient celebration. The night falls, the stars emerging above the pyramids, their light a mirror to the day's fire, and the jungle breathes with the echo of the feast. The temple stands silent, its stones warm from the sun's touch, a guardian of the tale. The air cools, the scent of copal fading, and the city sleeps, the sun god's legacy woven into the dreams of its people, a story that cradles the listener into a starlit slumber. Let the fading light of Tikal's feast guide you, seekers, into a night where the sun's dance weaves a golden thread through the tapestry of your dreams. The first rays of dawn pierce the dense canopy of a Maya rainforest, a golden spear of light slicing through the mist that clings to the treetops, where the vibrant calls of toucans echo like trumpets heralding a new day. The air hums with the scent of dew-drenched orchids and the faint smokiness of smoldering ritual fires, their embers glowing like fallen stars in the undergrowth. Deep within the forest, a hidden clearing opens, its center dominated by a circular stone platform adorned with carvings of quetzal birds in flight, their emerald and crimson feathers etched in vivid detail. Around the platform, a throng of Maya dancers gathers, their bodies painted with swirling yellow and green patterns, their heads crowned with headdresses of shimmering quetzal feathers that catch the light like living flames. The beat of a massive log drum begins, its deep resonance shaking the earth, signaling the start of the Haab festival, a celebration of the 365-day solar calendar and a tribute to the sky's eternal dance. Tonight, we leap into this vibrant ritual where feathers soar and the earth pulses with life under the stars. Draw close, listeners, and let the drum's heartbeat carry you into a dream of celestial rhythm. The festival ignites as the sun climbs higher, its golden rays flooding the clearing, illuminating the dancers who move with a grace that mirrors the quetzal's flight. The log drum thunders, joined by the sharp clack of wooden clappers and the trill of bone flutes, a symphony that rises above the jungle's chorus. The high priest, his face painted with a sunburst of ochre, steps onto the platform, raising a staff topped with a quetzal feather fan, its colors a blaze of green and red. His voice booms, a chant that weaves through the music. O Haab, cycle of the sun, we honor your rhythm with the quetzal's grace. The crowd responds, their voices a wave of reverence as the dancers begin their ritual, their feet stamping the earth. In a pattern that echoes the calendar's 18 months and 5 unlucky days, the dance unfolds with breathtaking precision, each movement a story of the sun's journey. The lead dancer, a lithe figure with a headdress that trails feathers like a comet's tail, leaps into the air, his body twisting mid-flight, the feathers fanning out in a radiant arc that mirrors Kinichahao's daily ascent. The drum beats quicken, the clappers snapping like thunder, and the other dancers join, their steps a synchronized swirl, their arms weaving patterns that trace the solar year. Planting in the rainy season, harvest under the dry sun, offerings at the year's end. The air fills with the scent of crushed herbs and burning copal, a sacred incense that rises like a bridge to the heavens, the feathers glinting as if alive with the sun god's light. The crowd sways, their hands clapping, their eyes fixed on the dance, a living calendar etched in motion. The ritual intensifies with a dramatic shift, the dancers splitting into two lines, each representing the balance of the Haab cycle, light and shadow, growth and rest. The lead dancer leaps again, his feathers brushing the ground, and from the forest edge a figure emerges cloaked in black, his headdress adorned with owl feathers, symbolizing the 5 unlucky days of Wayeb. The drum falters, the flutes wail, and the crowd gasps as the dark figure advances, his steps a counter-rhythm to the dance, a threat to the solar order. The high priest raises his staff, his chant a command, drive back the shadow, restore the light. The dancers converge, their quetzal feathers a wall of color, their movements a fierce whirl that engulfs the dark figure, their stomps a thunder that shakes the platform, the air crackling with energy. The climax is a stunning rebirth, the dark figure collapsing as the dancers lift the lead dancer high, his feathers spreading like wings, the sun's ray striking the platform's center, igniting a burst of copal smoke that spirals upward. The drum roars, the clappers clash, and the chant explodes. Haab renewed, the quetzal soars. The crowd erupts, their cheers blending with the jungle's cries. As the dancers descend, their feathers shedding in a shower of green and red, each one a symbol of renewal collected by the people as blessings. The air grows sweet with the scent of fresh maize and fruit offerings, the platform now a mosaic of feathers and smoke, the festival a triumph over the shadow days, a celebration of the sun's enduring cycle. The afternoon brings a communal dance, the people joining the dancers, their movements less formal but no less fervent, children twirling with feather wands, elders swaying with staffs, carved with solar glyphs. Musicians circle the platform, their flutes weaving melodies that mimic the quetzal's call, their drums a heartbeat that syncs with the forest's pulse. The high priest moves among them, distributing cacao cups, the bitter-sweet drink a shared communion with Kinich-Ahau, its warmth spreading through the crowd. The air hums with laughter and song, the feathers scattered on the ground a carpet of color, the clearing a living testament to the Haab's unity, the sun now a golden disk overhead. As dusk approaches, the festival winds down with a twilight ritual, the dancers returning to the platform, their bodies weary but spirits high. The high priest lights a final fire, its flames a mirror to the setting sun, and the people gather, their voices soft now, a hymn that fades into the night. The elder's voice rises, a tale of how the Quetzal feathers first fell from Kinich Ahau's chariot, a gift to guide the Maya through the Haab's cycles. The fire dims, the feathers glow faintly under the stars, and the jungle settles, the scent of copal lingering like a memory. Artemy, though distant, feels the dance's rhythm in his storm, the scar on his cheek pulsing with the Quetzal's grace, a bridge to this vibrant celebration. The night deepens, the stars emerging above the clearing, their light weaving with the last embers, the platform a silent stage where the Haab's story lingers. The jungle breathes, the Quetzal's call a distant echo, and the people disperse, their hearts full, the feathers a legacy under the cosmic canopy. The air cools, the scent of the feast fading, and the forest stands watch, the festival spirit cradling the listener into a starlit slumber. Let the Quetzal's feather fall upon you, seekers, into a night where the Haab's dance weaves a celestial rhythm through the tapestry of your dreams. In the hush of twilight, where the sky bleeds into a soft lavender over the Yucatan's endless canopy, a stillness settles upon the sacred cenote of Chichen Itza, its waters a mirror reflecting the fading light like a pool of forgotten dreams. The air carries a whisper of damp earth and the delicate fragrance of water lilies that float upon the surface, their petals trembling with each ripple stirred by a gentle breeze. Beneath the cenote's limestone lip, where the earth yawns into a chasm of mystery, a lone priestess kneels, her silhouette framed by the encroaching shadows, her hands tracing the air as if weaving the threads of an unseen tapestry. Her voice, a tender murmur, rises like a prayer, blending with the distant croak of frogs and the sigh of the wind, invoking the rain god Jack, whose domain lies within these depths. Tonight we drift into this sacred rite, a communion with the watery abyss where offerings are made and souls are touched by the divine under a canopy of stars. Close your eyes, listeners, and let the cenote's song cradle you into a reverie of ancient whispers. The cenote's surface shimmers, a liquid canvas where the sky's colors bleed into its depths, a portal to the underworld where Shaak resides, his presence a ripple felt in the priestess's soul. Her chant weaves a melody, soft and lilting, each note a plea for rain to nourish the parched earth, each syllable a tribute to the god whose tears sustain life. The air grows heavy, laden with the scent of wet stone and the faint metallic tang of offerings past. Jade, gold, and the echoes of human devotion cast into the waters. Around the cenote, a circle of villagers gathers, their faces painted with blue streaks to honor Chak, their eyes reflecting the twilight's glow, their silence a reverence that hums like a heartbeat. The priestess's hands tremble as she lifts a basket of maize and cacao, her fingers brushing the grains, each touch a memory of the fields that depend on the rain god's mercy. A sigh escapes her lips, a breath that carries the weight of her people's hope as she begins the ritual's first offering. She scatters maize into the cenote, the kernels sinking like golden stars into the abyss, their descent a silent prayer watched by the villagers' bated breath. The water stirs, a gentle swirl that rises like a response, and the priestess feels Chak's gaze, a presence vast and ancient, his eyes hidden in the depths where light dares not reach. Her voice softens, a lullaby now. O Chak, Lord of rain, drink of our earth's heart, let your tears fall upon us. The villagers join, their murmurs a chorus, their hands outstretched as if to catch the rain that has yet to come, the air thickening. With anticipation, the cenotes surface rippling with each whispered word. The ritual deepens, a dance of shadow and light, as the priestess rises, her movements fluid like the water she honors. She unfurls a cloth woven with glyphs of raindrops and serpents, its edges adorned with jade beads that clink softly, a sound that echoes the drip of the cenote's walls. With a graceful arc, she casts the cloth into the depths, its descent a slow spiral, the beads glinting like fallen stars, until they vanish into the darkness. The villagers gasp, their voices a collective sigh as the water surges, a wave that laps against the limestone, a sign of Cha'ak's awakening. The priestess closes her eyes, her spirit drifting downward, imagining the god's realm, caverns of crystal where rain is born, serpents coiled around jade thrones, the air thick with the hum of creation. Her heart beats with the cenote's pulse, a rhythm that binds her to the divine, a thread of connection woven through the ritual's silence. The night unfurls, the stars emerging like eyes watching from above, and the ritual shifts to its most sacred moment, the offering of blood. The priestess draws a thorn from a cactus, its prick a sharp sting against her finger, and presses it to her palm, letting a single drop of crimson fall into the cenote. The water accepts it, its surface blooming with a faint red halo, a sacrifice that stirs the depths. The villagers murmur prayers, their voices a soft tide, as the priestess recites an ancient verse, "From my blood to your waters, Chak. Let the rain flow, let the earth drink." The cenote responds, a low rumble echoing from its depths, a sound that vibrates through the limestone, through the priestess's bones, a promise of rain carried on the wind. The air grows cool, the scent of wet stone intensifying, and the villagers feel the god's breath, a shiver that promises renewal. The ritual crescendos with a vision, the priestess's mind opening to Chak's domain. She sees a serpent's form rise from the cenote, its scales a mosaic of jade and obsidian, its eyes glowing with the light of distant storms. The villagers fall silent, their gazes fixed on the water, as the vision unfolds. A rain-soaked jungle, maize fields bursting with life, children laughing under a deluge blessed by the god. The priestess sways, her chant a whisper now. Chak, your tears are our life, your depths our salvation. The cenote's surface calms, the red halo fading, but the air remains charged, the promise of rain lingering like a scent on the breeze. The villagers bow, their hands pressed to the earth, their hearts full with the ritual's weight, the stars above a silent witness to their devotion. As the night deepens, the ritual softens into a vigil, the priestess and villagers sitting by the cenote, their voices a low hum of songs passed down through generations. The water reflects the stars, a mirror of the cosmos, and the priestess feels a peace settle over her, the scar on her soul, a mark of her connection to Chak, pulsing with the rhythm of the rain to come. The air carries the scent of lilies and damp earth, a fragrance that weaves through the night, and the jungle breathes with the promise of life renewed. Artemi, though distant, senses the cenote's call in his storm, the scar on his cheek a bridge to this watery rite, its pulse a echo of the rain god's grace. The stars wheel overhead, their light fading as the first hint of dawn brushes the horizon, and the vigil ends. The priestess rises, her hands empty but her spirit full, the cenote's surface still and serene, its depths holding the secrets of the ritual. The villagers disperse, their footsteps soft on the wet earth, the scent of copal lingering like a memory, the jungle a cradle for their dreams. The cenote stands silent, its waters a guardian of the night's communion, a story that drifts into the listener's soul, a lullaby of rain and renewal. Let the cenote's whisper enfold you, seekers, into a dawn where Chak's tears weave a gentle rain through the garden of your dreams. The horizon ignites with a sudden, searing flash, dawn breaking over the jagged skyline of a Maya city like a cinematic explosion, the first rays slicing through the lingering night to reveal a sprawling plaza flanked by towering stelae etched with cryptic glyphs. The air trembles with a low, ominous hum, the distant rumble of thunder rolling in from the jungle's edge, where the silhouettes of ceiba trees stand like sentinels against the amber sky. A crowd of robed figures gathers, their faces shadowed beneath hoods, their hands clutching flutes of bone and drums of taut animal hide, the instruments glinting faintly in the dawn's glare. At the plaza's center, a massive altar looms, its surface stained with the patina of ancient sacrifices, its edges carved with the 260-day Tzolk'in cycle, 13 numbers, and 20-day signs that govern the Maya cosmos. The high priest steps forward, his cloak billowing like a storm cloud, his eyes blazing with the weight of prophecy, ready to unleash the music that binds the heavens to the earth. Tonight, we dive into this dramatic rite, where flutes and drums weave a sonic tapestry under the stars' unblinking gaze. Hold your breath, listeners, and let the rhythm pull you into a cinematic dream of divine harmony. The ceremony ignites with a single piercing note, a flute's wail cutting through the dawn like a blade, its sound echoing off the stelae, reverberating through the plaza with a haunting resonance. The high priest raises his arms, his voice a thunderous command. O Tzolk'in, sacred wheel of time, let your music align the stars. The crowd responds, their flutes joining in a discordant chorus, their notes clashing like storm winds before settling into a rhythmic melody that pulses with the 13 numbers of the cycle: 1 Imix, 2 Ek, 3 Akbal, each day sign a beat in the cosmic drum. The drummers strike their hides, the sound a deep, primal thud that shakes the earth, their rhythms syncing with the flute's trills. A symphony that feels alive, as if the city itself breathes with the music. The air thickens with the scent of burning copal and the tang of morning dew, the stellae glowing faintly as the glyphs awaken, their carved lines pulsing with each note. The ritual unfolds with a tense escalation, the music building like a gathering tempest. The high priest moves to the altar, his cloak swirling, and draws an obsidian blade, its edge catching the dawn's light like a shard of the sun. He slices his palm, letting blood drip onto the altar, the crimson liquid seeping into the stone, a sacrifice to align the Tzolk'in with the heavens. The flutes soar, their notes a piercing cry, while the drums pound with a ferocity that mirrors the blood's flow, the sound waves crashing against the stele like waves on a shore. The crowd sways, their hoods falling back to reveal painted faces, red for life, black for death, yellow for the sun, each hue a day sign brought to life. The air crackles, the scent of blood and copal mingling with the jungle's musk, and the plaza feels like a stage where time itself is rewritten with every beat. A dramatic shift occurs as the music fractures, the flutes splitting into a chaotic duet, one high and urgent, the other low and mournful, representing the duality of the Tzolk'in's cycle, creation and destruction, light and shadow. The high priest raises a staff topped with a jaguar skull, its jaws open as if roaring, and the drummers respond. There beats a staccato storm that shakes the altar. From the crowd, a figure emerges, cloaked in black, his flute a somber wail that challenges the harmony, a symbol of the 5 unlucky days that threaten the cycle's balance. The priest's eyes narrow, his chant a defiant roar. Cast out the discord, restore the wheel. The drummers surge, their rhythms overpowering the black-clad figure, the flutes rising in a triumphant crescendo, the plaza trembling as the intruder collapses, his music silenced. The climax is a breathtaking fusion, the high priest slamming his staff onto the altar, the jaguar skull shattering in a burst of dust, releasing a wave of sound that merges flute and drum into a single resonant chord. The stellae flare, their glyphs igniting with a golden light, the Tzolk'in cycle aligning as the music peaks, a sonic explosion that seems to lift the plaza into the sky. The crowd falls to their knees, their voices a unified hymn. Tzolk'in, keeper of days, your music binds us to the stars. The air hums with energy, the scent of copal and blood fading into a fresh breeze. The dawn now a blaze of triumph, the stelae standing as monuments to the ritual's success. The black-clad figure vanishes, absorbed into the earth, the cycle restored. The ceremony winds down with a reflective coda, the flutes softening to a gentle melody, the drums a slow heartbeat that echoes the Zolkin's rhythm. The high priest steps back, his cloak settling, his face serene as he gazes at the stellae, their glyphs now dim, but alive with the memory of the music. The crowd rises, their hands raised to the sky, their voices a soft chant that fades into the jungle's hum. The plaza emptying as the sun climbs higher. The air cools, the scent of morning flowers replacing the ritual's intensity, and the stellae stand silent, their carvings a testament to the day's harmony. Artemy, though distant, feels the music's pulse in his storm, the scar on his cheek a bridge to this cosmic rite, its beat an echo of the Tzolk'in's power. The day unfolds, the stars fading as the sun reigns, and the plaza becomes a quiet stage, the stelae watching over the city, the music lingering in the air like a whispered prophecy. The jungle stirs, the jaguar's roars a distant memory, and the city breathes with the rhythm of the restored cycle. A story that cradles the listener into a sunlit dream. Let the final chord of the Tzolk'in's music guide you, seekers, into a day where the rhythm of the stars weaves a timeless beat through your soul. The morning sun spills through the thatched roof of a humble Maya hut, its golden fingers tracing the dust motes that dance in the air, illuminating a small corner where a young woman named Ishel sits cross-legged on a woven mat. The room is alive with the soft rustle of cotton fibers and the faint scent of earth and dried herbs hanging from the rafters, a sanctuary of quiet industry nestled within the bustling village. Her hands move with a practiced grace, guiding a backstrap loom stretched taut against her waist, the wooden frame creaking gently as she pulls a shuttle threaded with vibrant crimson yarn. Outside, the village stirs. Children's laughter mingles with the cluck of hens, and the distant hum of a market floats on the breeze. But within these walls, time slows, each thread a story woven for the nobles of the city. Tonight we step into Ixchel's world, where the rhythm of the loom sings a tale of skill and sacrifice under the stars' watchful gaze. Settle in, listeners, and let the thread of her life weave you into a gentle dream of ancient craft. Ixchel's day begins with the dawn, her fingers already busy as the first light creeps over the horizon, casting long shadows across the hut's dirt floor. The cotton she works with comes from the fields beyond the village, harvested by her family under the relentless sun, its soft white bowls dyed with secrets of the earth, crimson from cochineal insects, indigo from crushed leaves, yellow from tree bark. She remembers her mother's hands, weathered but sure, teaching her the backstrap loom's dance, the way the tension adjusts with each breath, the way the threads align like the constellations above. The loom's wooden bars, smoothed by generations, press against her back, a companion in her solitude, and she hums a tune passed down from her grandmother, its melody a thread that binds her to the past. For the nobles, her mother would say, your hands weave their glory, and Ixchel feels the weight of that duty in every pull of the shuttle. The process is a meditation, each step a ritual of patience. She begins by spinning the cotton into thread, her spindle twirling between her fingers, the soft fibers twisting into a strong cord that gleams in the sunlight. The hut fills with the whisper of the spindle's spin, a sound like the wind through the maze, and Ixchel's mind drifts to the nobles she's never met. Figures in jade and feathers, their lives a world apart, yet dependent on her craft. She dips the thread into a dye pot, the crimson liquid staining her hands as she stirs. The scent of cochineal sharp and earthy, a reminder of the insects crushed to bring this color to life. The dye seeps into the cotton, transforming it, and she hangs the threads to dry, their vibrant hue a promise of the tapestry to come, a banner for the noble's court. As the morning deepens, Ixchel sets the loom, the backstrap tightening against her waist, her body swaying with the rhythm of the weave. The crimson thread dances with indigo, creating patterns of geometric precision, step pyramids, swirling vines, and the sacred ceiba tree. Each design a glyph of meaning, a prayer woven into the fabric. Her fingers ache, the calluses a badge of her skill, but her heart sings with the creation, the shuttle clicking like a heartbeat against the wooden frame. She recalls a story her father told of a noble who wore a cloak she wove, its threads said to have caught the eye of a god during a ritual, the fabric a bridge between earth and sky. The thought fuels her, her hands moving faster, the looms creak a symphony of labor, the hut a cocoon where art is born. The afternoon brings a visitor, an emissary from the city, his sandals slapping the dirt as he enters, his robe edged with gold thread that glints in the sunlight. He inspects Ixchel's work, his eyes narrowing at the half-finished tapestry, its crimson and indigo swirling like a storm. "For Lord Kinich," he says, his voice clipped, "it must be perfect by the new moon." The pressure settles on her shoulders, a weight heavier than the loom, and she nods, her fingers trembling as she resumes. The emissary's presence, a silent judge. She weaves faster, the patterns tightening, the ceiba tree taking shape, its roots reaching into the indigo depths, its branches brushing the crimson sky, a symbol of the noble's power rooted in her labor. The hut grows warm, the scent of cotton and dye intensifying, and Ixchel's breath steadies, her focus a shield against the deadline. As dusk falls, the tapestry nears completion, its surface a masterpiece of color and story. Ixchel pauses, her hands aching to admire the work. The pyramids rise in crimson, the vines curl in indigo, the ceiba stands tall, a bridge between worlds. She adds a final touch, a tiny glyph of her name, a secret stitched into the noble's glory, a mark of her soul. The emissary returns, his approval a curt nod, and he takes the tapestry, its weight lifting from her loom but settling in her heart. The village quiets, the market's hum fading, and Ixchel steps outside, the stars piercing the night sky, their light a mirror to her threads. She feels a pride, a connection to the nobles she serves, her labor a thread in the fabric of their world. The night deepens, the hut glowing with the last embers of her fire, and Ixchel sits, her hands resting, the loom silent but alive with memory. She thinks of the noble wearing her tapestry, of the rituals it will grace, of the gods it might touch. The air cools, the scent of cotton lingering, and the stars weave their own pattern above, a celestial loom mirroring her craft. Artemy, though distant, senses the rhythm of her work in his storm, the scar on his cheek a bridge to this quiet artistry, its pulse a echo of her dedication. The dawn creeps back, the sun's light spilling anew, and Ixchel rises, her hands ready for the next thread, the next story. The hut stands as a testament to her skill, the village a canvas for her labor, the stars a witness to the noble's glory woven by her hands. The air stirs with the promise of a new day, the scent of fresh cotton a lullaby, and the tapestry's legacy drifts into the listener's dream. Let the shuttle's whisper guide you, seekers, into a morning where the threads of Ixchel's loom weave a tapestry of dreams beneath the starlit sky. The morning erupts in a blaze of color, the sun's rays exploding across the horizon like a painter's bold stroke, flooding a Maya village with a palette of gold and amber that dances on the clay-dusted earth. The air crackles with the scent of freshly fired pottery and the smoky tang of a kiln's embers, a symphony of creation that rises from a cluster of open-air workshops where artisans toil under the sky's vast canvas. Amid the chaos, a wiry potter named Kukulkan stands at his wheel, his hands smeared with ochre and black, his eyes alight with the fire of inspiration as he shapes a vessel that seems to pulse with life. Around him, the village hums, children dart with clay shards, women knead dough nearby, and the distant chant of a priest drifts from a temple, invoking the gods whose glyphs he etches into his work. Tonight, we plunge into Kukulkan's fiery craft, where clay becomes a conduit for the divine under the stars' eternal watch. Lean into the heat, listeners, and let the potter's rhythm mold your dreams into shapes of ancient wonder. Kukulkan's day ignites with the kiln's roar, its flames licking the dawn sky, a furnace that births his art from the earth's own flesh. He gathers clay from the riverbank, its cool, damp weight a living thing in his hands, mined from sacred ground blessed by the gods, Itzamna, lord of wisdom, and Ixchel, goddess of the moon. His workshop, a sunlit arena of dust and tools, buzzes with the clatter of pestles grinding pigments, red from hematite, black from manganese, white from kaolin, each color a brushstroke of divine essence. Kukulkan kneads the clay with a fervor, his fingers sinking into its softness, shaping it into a ball that he slaps onto the wheel, the wood spinning under his foot's steady tread. The wheel's hum is a heartbeat, a pulse that syncs with the village's rhythm, and he feels the god's breath in every turn, their presence a fire that fuels his hands. The craft explodes into life as Kukulkan molds the clay, his palms pressing and pulling, the vessel rising like a phoenix from the ashes. The wheel spins faster, a blur of motion, and the potter's hands dance. A thumb indents the rim, fingers stretch the walls, creating a bowl that curves like the moon's crescent, its surface smooth as a god's skin. He pauses, wiping sweat from his brow, the kiln's heat a living force that sears his face, and selects a stylus carved from bone, its tip poised like a priest's quill. With deliberate strokes, he etches glyphs, Itzamna's feathered serpent, Ixchel's lunar face, Chak's raindrops, each mark a prayer, a story carved into the clay's wet flesh. The pigments follow, his brush dipping into red and black, painting the glyphs with a vibrancy that seems to glow, the colors bleeding into the damp surface like blood into the earth. The afternoon brings a challenge, the clay resisting his will, cracking under the strain of a too ambitious curve. Kukulkan growls, his frustration a storm, and smashes the flawed piece, the shards scattering like fallen stars across the workshop floor. He starts anew, his hands trembling but resolute, the wheel spinning with renewed vigor, the clay yielding this time, rising into a perfect jar adorned with Chaak's rain glyph. The village watches, children peeking from doorways, their eyes wide with awe, and an elder nods approval, his voice a rasp. The gods test your soul through the clay. Kukulkan smiles, the kiln's heat drying his sweat, and he feels a connection, each crack a lesson, each success a gift from the divine, the glyphs a bridge to the heavens painted in earth's colors. As dusk falls, the pottery nears completion, the kiln's fire roaring to life, its flames a hungry beast devouring the vessels. Kukulkan loads the jars and bowls, their glyphs glowing faintly in the firelight, a gallery of divine faces ready for transformation. The heat intensifies, the air thick with the scent of burning clay and wood, the workshop a crucible where art and spirit meld. He chants, his voice a low rumble, Itzamna, guide my fire, Ixchel, bless my night, the words rising with the smoke, a prayer that swirls into the sky. The village gathers, their shadows flickering against the kiln's glow, their murmurs a hymn as the pottery bakes, the glyphs hardening into permanence, the clay's soul sealed by the god's breath. The night deepens, the kiln cooling, its embers a constellation of red against the dark, and Kukulkan unveils his work. The jars emerge, their surfaces a mosaic of color and glyph, Itzamna's wisdom etched in black, Ixchel's serenity in white, Shaak's rain in red, a testament to his labor. The village cheers, their hands clapping, and a noble arrives, his robe a cascade of feathers, inspecting the pottery with a nod. For the temple, a worthy offering. Kukulkan feels a surge of pride, the scar of his effort, a burn on his arm, pulsing, with the kiln's memory, a bridge to the divine craft. The air cools, the scent of baked clay lingering, and the stars above mirror the glyphs, a celestial echo of his art. The dawn returns, the sun igniting the workshop anew, and Kukul Khan stands amid his pottery, the jars stacked like a small temple, their glyphs a story told in clay. The village stirs, the markets hum a new rhythm, and he feels the god's presence in every curve, every color, a legacy baked into the earth. The air freshens with morning dew, the scent of fired clay a lullaby, and the workshop glows with the promise of another day's creation, a tale that cradles the listener into a sunlit dream. Let the kiln's ember guide you seekers into a morning where the gods' glyphs weave a fiery dream through the canvas of your soul. The morning unfurls with a delicate hush, a golden mist drifting over the rolling hills where cacao trees stretch toward the sky, their glossy leaves glistening with dew that catches the first light like scattered jewels. The air hums with the gentle buzz of bees and the rustle of leaves stirred by a soft breeze, carrying the faint, intoxicating scent of ripe cacao pods. Amid this serene expanse, an elderly woman named Ixtabe moves with quiet purpose, her weathered hands clutching a walking stick, carved with glyphs of maize and rain, her eyes scanning the grove for the perfect harvest. Her basket sways with each step, a vessel for the sacred beings she believes hold the spirit of the gods, a legacy she must pass to the next generation. Tonight, we journey with Ixtabe, unraveling the ancient art of brewing cacao, a divine gift woven into the fabric of Maya life, under the stars' tender watch. Breathe deeply, listeners, and let the grove's pulse guide you into a dream of sacred brew. Stabe's tale begins with the dawn's first whisper, her feet tracing a path worn by generations through the cacao grove, a sanctuary where the trees stand as silent guardians. She pauses beneath a gnarled trunk, its bark etched with the scars of time, and selects a pod, its skin a mottled green turning red, a sign of ripeness blessed by Ixchel's lunar gaze. With a deft twist she breaks it open, the crack a soft explosion that releases a burst of sweet fruity aroma, the white pulp cradling beans like pearls in a shell. She gathers them into her basket, her fingers trembling with reverence, recalling the elders' stories of cacao as a gift from Ekchua, the god who bartered with the underworld to bring it to the surface. The mist parts, the sun climbing higher, and Ixtabe feels a thrill, a connection to the divine journey she's about to undertake, her basket a chalice of potential. Back in her modest home, a thatched hut nestled against the hillside, Ixtabe's work unfolds with the precision of a ritual. She spreads the beans on a woven mat, the pulp glistening under the morning light, and covers them with banana leaves to ferment, a process she guards like a secret. The hut fills with a tangy, evolving scent as the beans transform over days, their white flesh darkening to a rich brown, a metamorphosis guided by the gods' unseen hands. She checks them daily, her nose wrinkling at the sharp aroma, her hands sifting through the pile, noting the shift from fruit to cocoa, a alchemy that hums with life. The village children gather at her door, their eyes wide with wonder, and she smiles, sharing tales of how cacao once saved a drought-stricken clan, its brew a lifeline from the divine, a story that fuels her resolve. The next step is a dance with fire, Extabe roasting the beans in a clay pan over a low flame, the hut warming with the smoky, nutty scent that wafts through the village. She stirs with a wooden spoon, the beans popping like tiny fireworks, their skins peeling back to reveal the dark treasure within. The heat kisses her face, the smoke curling around her like a blessing from Sha'ak, and she hums an old song, its notes a prayer to the rain god who waters the cacao. Once roasted, she grinds the beans on a metat, the stone slab a sacred altar, her arms aching as she rocks the mano, the paste forming a thick, bitter mass that coats her tongue, a raw power that hints at the drink's soul. She adds honey and a pinch of annatto, a nod to the earth's bounty, blending the mixture into a smooth base, her hands a conduit for the god's gift. The brewing ignites with a ceremonial flourish, Extabe heating water drawn from a nearby spring, its clarity a mirror to the sky, and pouring it into the paste. She wields a molinillo, its carved handles spinning between her palms, the whirring sound a chant that froths the liquid into a rich, frothy cap. The hut glows with the brew's warmth, the scent of chocolate and honey rising like incense, and she strains it through a cloth, the liquid flowing into a gourd etched with cacao glyphs, a vessel worthy of the divine. The first taste is a revelation, bitter yet sweet, a warmth that spreads through her chest, a communion with Ek Chua that leaves her breathless, her eyes misting with the memory of her ancestors' rituals. The afternoon brings a communal sharing, Extabe carrying the gourd to the village square, the people gathering under the shade of a ceiba tree, their faces alight with anticipation. The elder priest accepts the brew, his hands trembling as he raises it. To Ek Chua, bringer of cacao, to Ixchel, weaver of life. The crowd echoes, their voices a wave of gratitude, and Extabe watches, her heart swelling as the drink is passed, its warmth binding the community. The square hums with laughter and song, the gourd's glyphs seeming to pulse, the air thick with the brew's aroma, a testament to the god's generosity. Extabe feels a pride, the scar of her labor, a callus on her palm, pulsing with the cacao's spirit, a bridge to this sacred tradition. The night falls, the stars piercing the sky, and Ixtabe sits by the grove, the gourd empty but its essence lingering. She reflects on the journey, pod to paste, fire to froth, a path of discovery guided by the gods, a gift that nourishes body and soul. The air cools, the scent of cacao fading into the jungle's breath, and the stars weave their own tale above, a celestial brew mirroring her craft. Artemy, though distant, senses the cacao's warmth in his storm, the scar on his cheek a bridge to this divine labor, its pulse a echo of the god's blessing. The dawn creeps back, the sun igniting the grove anew, and Ixtabe rises, her basket ready for the next harvest, the village a tapestry of her legacy. The air stirs with morning mist, the scent of fresh cacao a lullaby, and the grove stands as a shrine to the god's gift, a tale that cradles the listener into a sunlit dream. Let the cacao's essence guide you, seekers, into a morning where the god's brew weaves a rich dream through the garden of your soul. Beneath a velvet dawn, where the sky shimmers with the last whispers of night, a lone figure ascends the steep steps of a pyramid, his breath visible in the cool air, his sandals scuffing against the ancient stone. The horizon glows with a faint, ethereal light, and the air carries the faint scent of sage burned in the temple below, a fragrance that mingles with the dew-soaked earth. This is Zach, a stargazer priest, his eyes fixed on the eastern sky where Venus, the radiant star of Chak-Ek, prepares to rise, its glow a beacon of prophecy and power. The pyramid's summit offers a panoramic view, the jungle stretching like a dark sea, and the village below stirs with the first murmurs of life. Tonight we drift into Zach's mystical vigil, where the dance of Venus shapes destinies under the stars' silent counsel. Sink into the stillness, listeners, and let the celestial rhythm guide your spirit into a dream of cosmic revelation. Through the thinning mist, Zach's gaze locks onto the first glimmer of Venus, a brilliant point piercing the dawn, its light a silver thread weaving through the fading stars. His hands clutch a codex, its pages brittle with age, inscribed with glyphs that chart the planet's cycles, 584 days of rise and fall, a rhythm that governs war and peace. The air grows crisp, the sage's scent deepening, and he traces the glyphs with his finger, murmuring prayers to Chak-Ek, the morning star who heralds triumph. The village below fades into shadow, its fires dimming as Zach feels the planet's pulse, a force that stirs his blood, connecting him to ancestors who read the skies. The pyramid stone hums beneath him, a resonant altar to the cosmos, and he senses the god's presence, a whisper in the wind that promises guidance. With a steady hand, Zach adjusts a carved wooden sighting tube, aligning it with Venus's ascent, the lens framing the star's brilliance against the paling sky. His breath catches as the planet's light intensifies, casting a faint glow on the codex, illuminating a glyph of a warrior's spear, a sign of impending battle. The air shifts, carrying the distant howl of a jaguar, a natural echo of Chak-Ek's ferocity, and Zach's mind races, interpreting the omen. He recalls a tale of a king who, guided by Venus's rise, launched a victorious raid, the star's light a divine shield. The pyramid's height isolates him, a sentinel atop a world unaware, and the sage's smoke curls upward, a bridge to the heavens where Chak-Ek reigns. Slowly the dawn unfurls, Venus climbing higher, its light a beacon that draws Zach's focus deeper into the ritual. He scatters copal resin into a small brazier, the flames flaring with a sweet, pungent scent, their smoke spiraling toward the star. His chant rises, a low cadence that blends with the wind. Chak Ek, star of war, guide our hands, light our path. The village stirs below, priests joining in a distant echo, their voices a chorus that amplifies his plea. The air grows warm, the mist dissolving, and Zach feels a shiver, the star's energy coursing through him, a mystical thread linking earth to sky. The codex trembles in his hands, its pages alive with the weight of prophecy, a map to the Maya's future. As the sun breaches the horizon, Venus fades into the daylight, its message sealed in Zach's mind. He sketches the star's position on a clay tablet, his stylus carving a glyph of a serpent coiled around a spear, a symbol of victory tempered by caution. The air lightens, the sage's scent giving way to the freshness of morning, and the pyramid's summit becomes a silent witness to his vigil. He descends, the steps rough under his feet, carrying the tablet to the temple where elders await, their faces etched with anticipation. The village hums with life, the market's bustle a contrast to his solitude, and Zach feels the star's legacy in his bones, a duty to share Chak Ek's will. Twilight returns, the stars rekindling above, and Zach stands by the pyramid's base, the tablet in hand, its glyph glowing faintly in the dusk. He reflects on the morning's vision. The stars rise a call to prepare, its light a promise of strength. The air cools, the scent of sage lingering like a memory, and the jungle breathes with the night's secrets. Artemi, though distant, senses the star's pull in his storm, the scar on his cheek a bridge to this celestial rite, its pulse an echo of Chak Ek's power. The night deepens, the stars weaving a celestial map, and the pyramid looms as a guardian of the sky's wisdom. The village sleeps, the temples glow a beacon, and Zach's tablet rests with the elders, its prophecy a thread in the Maya's destiny. The air settles, the scent of dawn's promise fading, and the stars stand watch, a tale that cradles the listener into a cosmic dream. Let Venus's light envelop you, seekers, into a night where Chak Ek's star weaves a path of prophecy through the fabric of your dreams. Beneath the canopy of a star-flecked sky, where the humid air of Palenque pulses with the scent of damp limestone and blooming orchids, I, a nameless wanderer, drawn to the ancient wisdom of the Maya, stand in the shadow of the temple of the inscriptions where the stones whisper secrets of time itself. The night hums with the chirp of tree frogs and the faint rustle of palm fronds swaying in the breeze, the air alive with the weight of centuries, and the soft glow of torches casting golden pools across the plaza. Here in the heart of this jungle-clad city, the priests of Palenque, their eyes trained on the heavens, trace the sacred calendar glyphs carved into enduring stone, each mark a thread in the tapestry of the cosmos, a guide to the Maya's dance with eternity kindling my soul with a wonder as vast as the starry vault above, a mystery that weaves the past into the pulse of the present. The temple of the inscriptions looms majestic, its stepped pyramid rising like a mountain born of human hands, the air thick with the scent of moss clinging to its weathered steps, and the faint murmur of sacred chants long faded. Carvings adorn its walls, their glyphs curling like vines, each a story of kings, gods, and the relentless march of time, the air pulsing with the scent of their ancient craft and the soft gleam of starlight on their edges. A priest, robed in cotton dyed with indigo, moves with quiet reverence, his fingers brushing a glyph that speaks of the long count, the air shimmering with the scent of his focus, a flame that lights the night's stillness. Palenque sleeps around us, its plazas a cradle of history, its jungle a guardian of secrets, the air heavy with the scent of its timeless vigil. The calendar glyphs glow faintly under torchlight, their chiseled forms a language of stars and cycles. The air cool, with the scent of their mystery and the faint hum of the priest's murmured prayers. My gaze follows his hand, tracing a glyph that marks the passage of a cocoon, a cycle of 20 years. Its curves a map of the Maya's journey through time, the air glowing with the scent of its wisdom, a rhythm that steadies my heart. The cacao brew in my hands, a gift from the temple's keepers, warms my palms, its bitter tang mingling with the night's breath, the air trembling with the scent of its sacredness, a thread that binds me to the priest's ancient craft. The stars above Palenque burn bright, their patterns a mirror to the glyphs below, the air alive with the scent of their cosmic dance, a canvas for the Maya's eternal quest. A stone tablet nearby bears the image of a ceiba tree, its roots plunging into the underworld, its branches piercing the heavens, the air humming with the scent of its myth, and the faint rustle of my cloak as I shift closer. The priest's eyes, sharp as a jaguar's, scan the glyphs that recount a royal ascension, their dates aligned with the wanderings of Venus, the air pulsing with the scent of their precision, a rhythm that quickens my breath. A young apprentice, his hands stained with ochre, sweeps the plaza's stones, his presence a spark of the future, the air bright with the scent of his curiosity, a light that dances in the shadows. Palenque's heart beats, its glyphs a pulse of eternity, the air thick with the scent of their power, a bridge between earth and sky. The spirit of the starry codex, guardian of the Maya's temporal lore, hums with a voice like a quetzal feather, the air weaving its essence with the scent of copal and the faint pulse of its wisdom. O wanderer, drawn to Palenque's stone, thy heart seeks the glyph's eternal truth, the air trembling with the scent of its cycles and the distant murmur of its stars. The Maya hold their cosmos close, their breath a map of time's unending flow, sentinel of their sacred count, their gaze a flame that pierces the night, a spark that glimmers in the starlight, our cadence entwined with the rhythm of their soul's timeless quest. The glyphs tell of the Tzolk'in, the sacred 260-day count, its days woven with the names of gods and destinies, the air heavy with the scent of their sacred geometry and the faint echo of their meaning. The priest pauses, his fingers hovering over a glyph that marks a solstice, its alignment with the Pleiades a sign of renewal, the air glowing with the scent of his reverence, a spark that binds the heavens to the earth. The cacao brew grows cool, its scent a reminder of the gods' gifts, the air trembling with the scent of its warmth, a rhythm that ties me to the Maya's rituals. The jungle beyond stirs, its leaves a whisper of the underworld's watch, the air alive with the scent of its mystery, a promise of cycles yet to turn. My eyes trace the long count's numbers, their progression a river of time that flows from creation to the stars, the air thick with the scent of ancient stone and the faint hum of the priest's breath as he deciphers their tale. A glyph of Kinich Ahau, the sun god, blazes in the torchlight, its rays a symbol of life's eternal return, the air pulsing with the scent of its radiance, a light that steadies my thoughts. The apprentice kneels nearby, his hands busy with a clay tablet, the air shimmering with the scent of his learning, a spark that carries Palenque's wisdom forward. The stars shift above, their paths a silent guide, the air glowing with the scent of their grace, a tapestry woven with the Maya's dreams. Children of the Maya, I muse, would gather by these stones, their laughter a soft drumbeat, their eyes wide with tales of the stars, the air bright with the scent of their joy and the faint patter of their dreams. A young girl might trace a glyph with her finger, her heart alight with stories of the hero twins, the air humming with the scent of her wonder, a spark that echoes the future. The nobles, too, would nod from their painted halls, their plumes aglow, the air thick with the scent of their pride, the faint murmur of their blessings for their priests. Palenque cradles them all, its stones a vault, its glyphs a key to the cosmos, endless vigil beneath the night. Guiding the Maya's time, the spirit of the celestial count sings with a voice like a jade chime, its breath a melody of starlight, the air cool with the scent of its glow and the faint rustle of its cycles. We see the wanderer's gaze weave tales of the Maya's hope, the air pulsing with the scent of their wisdom and the distant murmur of their kin. Palenque guards their sacred count, its stones a pulse of eternity, their trust a bridge to the heavens. I'll watch a star that never fades, their dreams a rhythm that hums with the cadence of their heart's eternal song. The priest moves to a final glyph, its form a spiral of time, marking the end of a baktun, the air warm with the scent of its weight and the faint hum of its prophecy. A torch flickers, casting shadows that dance like spirits across the stone, the air alive with the scent of their movement, a rhythm that guides our thoughts. The apprentice rises, his tablet complete, the air shimmering with the scent of his pride, a light that binds the past to the future. The starlit caves, though distant, seem to echo in these glyphs, their starlight a mirror to Palenque's stones, the air glowing with the scent of their mystery, a promise of truths yet to unfold. The night grows late, the air cool with the scent of dew and the faint rustle of the jungle's breath. The priest steps back, his work a beacon, the air alive with the scent of his devotion, the glyphs glow a guide. The golden crown song, though far from these jungles, feels akin to this cosmic dance, a thread that weaves through time's vast halls, a rhythm that pulses with our journey. The stars burn above, their light a map, the night alive with the cadence of Palenque's wisdom. We rest here, the air heavy with the scent of dreams, the glyphs' tales a quiet vow to the stars. I, the first scribe of the stars, born of Palenque's torchlit hush, my quill swift, my ink eternal, tracing the air with the scent of my glyphs and the faint echo of my chant. I rise from the wanderer's gaze, the air alive with the scent of his wonder and the sharp tang of his dream, weaving through stones where priests tread, the air pulsing with the scent of their resolve and the faint murmur of their kin tales of a people's cosmos, a legacy that carves the night's embrace, its light a guide through time's vast maze, a cadence that hums with the rhythm of the Maya soul. O wanderer, thy quest is a glyph in Palenque's stone, the air trembling with the scent of thy awe and the faint tang of thy search, a spirit that stirs the Maya's heart. The stars guard thy path, their light a silent vow, their glow a map of cycles yet to turn, the air cool with the scent of their eternity and the distant hum of their fire. The people carry their names, the air warm with the scent of their hearths and the faint clatter of their lives. The jungle lifts their songs, its leaves a chorus of ancient dreams, a legacy that shines in the starlight, a truth that endures, a rhythm that pulses with the beat of the cosmos's boundless heart. As the torches dim, a soft note rises in my heart, the air rich with the scent of jade and the faint chime of a cosmic hymn, its melody a golden thread through the night, weaving the glyph's wisdom into Palenque's eternal lore. Wanderer, scribe of the starry vault, thy gaze kindles the tale, thy spirit charts the heavens, a name that gleams in the stone's embrace, a legacy that soars through the cosmos, a verse that lingers like a star in the dreams of the Maya's seekers. In the heart of a Maya city, where the dawn's first light spills over limestone pyramids, and the air thrums with the scent of blooming saber flowers and smoldering copal. I, a nameless wanderer captivated by the eternal dance of the Maya, stand amidst a vibrant throng gathered to herald the dawn of a new calendar round, a sacred cycle where the Zolkin and Haab interlace like threads in a cosmic loom. The plaza pulses with the rhythm of bare feet on stone and the faint jingle of jade ornaments, the air alive with the hum of anticipation and the golden glow of torches that flicker like stars brought low. This celebration, a tapestry of song, dance, and prayer, binds the Maya to the heavens, their joy, a flame that lights the path of time's renewal, stirring my soul with a wonder as boundless as the jungle's emerald embrace, a festival that weaves the people's hearts into the eternal song of the stars. The plaza stretches wide, its stones polished by generations of feet, the air thick with the scent of roasted maize and the faint murmur of a breeze that carries the jungle's breath. Pyramids rise around us, their steps adorned with garlands of frangipani, each bloom a prayer to the gods, the air pulsing with the scent of their sweetness and the soft gleam of dawn on their petals. A young woman, her hair woven with quetzal feathers, sways nearby, her presence a spark of the future, the air shimmering with the scent of her grace, a light that warms the gathering. The city awakens, its plazas a cradle of unity, its stars a map of destiny, the air heavy with the scent of its sacred vigil. Torches blaze along the plaza's edge, their flames a chorus of gold, the air warm with the scent of burning resin and the faint crackle of their dance. A priest, his robe painted with glyphs of the sun, raises a staff crowned with obsidian, his movements a hymn to the calendar round's rebirth, the air glowing with the scent of his reverence, a rhythm that steadies the crowd. The cacao brew passed among us, its bitter warmth a gift from the gods, fills the air with a rich tang, the air trembling with the scent of its sanctity, a thread that binds us to the Maya's cosmic rite. The stars above burn fierce, their paths aligned with the cycle's dawn, the air alive with the scent of their guidance, a canvas for the people's eternal hope. A great drum sounds its beat, a heartbeat of the earth, the air humming with the scent of its resonance and the faint rustle of dancers' skirts as they weave through the plaza. The priest's staff traces the air, marking the alignment of Venus, the star of Chak-Ek, its rise a sign of the cycle's blessing, the air pulsing with the scent of its omen, a rhythm that quickens our breath. A child, his face painted with ochre stars, clutches a maize-husk doll, his laughter a silver thread that twines with the drum's pulse, the air bright with the scent of his joy, a spark that scatters the dawn's hush. The city's heart beats, its people a river of color and sound, the air thick with the scent of their unity, a celebration that bridges earth and sky. Guiding the Maya's cycles, the spirit of the cosmic round hums with a voice like a conch shell's call, the air weaving its essence with the scent of maize and the faint pulse of its eternity. O wanderer, thy heart joins the festival's flame, the air trembling with the scent of its joy and the distant murmur of its stars. The Maya hold their time close, their steps a dance of cosmic renewal, a sentinel of their sacred count, their song a star that lights the dawn, a spark that glimmers in the starlight, our cadence entwined with the rhythm of their soul's boundless quest. The dancers swirl, their quetzal feathers catching the light, their movements a story of creation retold, the air heavy with the scent of their sweat and the faint echo of their steps. A noble woman, her wrists adorned with jade, offers a bowl of cacao to the priest, her gesture a prayer for abundance, the air glowing with the scent of her devotion, a spark that binds the crowd. The drum's rhythm deepens, its beat a mirror to the Tolkien's sacred count, the air trembling with the scent of its power, a rhythm that ties us to the gods' eternal gaze. The jungle beyond hums, its creatures a chorus to the festival, the air alive with the scent of its mystery, a promise of cycles yet to unfold. My gaze lifts to the pyramid's peak, where a glyph of the calendar round shines in the dawn, its curves a map of time's endless flow, the air thick with the scent of ancient stone, and the faint hum of the priest's chant as he honors its rebirth. A banner of woven cotton, dyed with the red of anato, flutters above, its patterns a hymn to the stars, the air pulsing with the scent of its craft, a light that steadies our thoughts. A youth, his hands calloused from carving, adjusts a torch, the air shimmering with the scent of his pride, a spark that carries the city's legacy forward. The stars shift, their light a silent guide, the air glowing with the scent of their grace, a tapestry woven with the Maya's dreams. The festival swells, the air warm with the scent of grilled tamales and the faint hum of flutes weaving through the crowd. A dancer leaps, his shadow a fleeting glyph on the stone, his spirit a flame that burns bright, the air pulsing with the scent of his vigor, a rhythm that weaves through the plaza. The calendar round's dawn is no mere count of days, it is a renewal of the world, a moment when the gods look upon their people, the air trembling with the scent of their presence, a lure that binds us to the heavens. The torches flare, their light a mirror to the stars, the air alive with the scent of our joy, a canvas for the Maya's eternal song. Children of the Maya gather close, their eyes wide as saucers, their laughter a soft drumbeat, the air bright with the scent of their glee and the faint patter of their dreams. A boy might chase a stray feather, his heart alight with tales of the saber's path, the air humming with the scent of his wonder, a spark that echoes the future. The elders, too, stand proud, their cloaks heavy with embroidery, the air thick with the scent of their wisdom, the faint murmur of their blessings for their kin. The city cradles them all, its plazas a hearth, its stars a key to the cosmos, the air glowing with the scent of their legacy. Binding the Maya's time, the spirit of the starry cycle sings with a voice like a jade flute, its breath a melody of dawn, the air cool with the scent of its glow and the faint rustle of its cycles. We see the wanderer's heart weave tales of the Maya's joy, the air pulsing with the scent of their unity and the distant murmur of their kin. The city guards their sacred dance, its stones a pulse of eternity, their trust a bridge to the heavens. Our watch a star that never fades, their dreams a rhythm that hums with the cadence of their heart's eternal song. The priest raises his hands, the air warm with the scent of copal smoke and the faint hum of a final prayer sealing the cycle's dawn. The dancers slow, their feathers settling, the air alive with the scent of their breath, a rhythm that guides our thoughts. The child with the maize doll claps, his joy a spark that binds the past to the future, the air shimmering with the scent of his hope. The stars above Palenque soften, their light a mirror to the plaza's glow, the air glowing with the scent of their mystery, a promise of cycles yet to unfold. The festival quiets, the air cool with the scent of morning dew and the faint rustle of the jungle's awakening. The priest steps back, his staff a beacon, the air alive with the scent of his devotion, the plaza's joy a guide. The calendar round's renewal is a flame in my soul, a cycle that weaves through starry nights and sacred stones, a celebration that pulses with the Maya's journey. The stars burn above, their light a map, the dawn alive with the cadence of their unity. We rest here, the air heavy with the scent of dreams, the festival song a quiet vow to the heavens. I, the first weaver of cycles, born of the city's dawn-lit pulse, my loom swift, my threads eternal, tracing the air with the scent of my patterns and the faint echo of my chant. I rise from the wanderer's gaze, the air alive with the scent of his wonder and the sharp tang of his dream, weaving through plazas where dancers tread, the air pulsing with the scent of their resolve and the faint murmur of their kin, tales of a people's cosmos, a legacy that spins the dawn's embrace, its light a guide through time's vast maze, a cadence that hums with the rhythm of the Maya soul. O wanderer, thy festival is a star in the Maya's sky, the air trembling with the scent of thy joy and the faint tang of thy search, a spirit that stirs their heart. The cycles guard thy song, their rhythm a silent vow, their flow a map of stars yet to rise, the air cool with the scent of their eternity and the distant hum of their fire. The people carry their names, the air warm with the scent of their hearths and the faint clatter of their lives. The jungle lifts their dreams, its leaves a chorus of ancient songs, a legacy that shines in the dawn, a truth that endures, a rhythm that pulses with the beat of the cosmos's boundless heart. As the sun crests, a gentle hum rises in my heart, the air rich with the scent of frangipani and the faint chime of a sacred melody, its notes a silver thread through the morn, weaving the festival's joy into the Maya's timeless lore. Wander, weaver of the dawn-lit plaza, thy dance kindles the cycle, thy spirit charts the heavens, a name that glows in the stone's embrace, a legacy that spins through the cosmos, a hymn that lingers like a breeze in the dreams of the Mayas. Wanderers, under the velvet dome of a Maya night, where the Pleiades glimmer like scattered jade, and the air weaves a spell of warm earth and smoldering copal, I, a nameless wanderer entranced by the cosmic lore of the Maya, sit among a circle of listeners in the shadow of a towering ceiba tree, its branches reaching toward the stars as if to touch the heaven's heart. The jungle hums with the soft croak of frogs, and the faint rustle of leaves stirred by a midnight breeze, the air alive with the pulse of ancient tales, and the flickering glow of a fire that casts dancing shadows across the gathered faces. Here in this sacred grove, the priests of the Maya weave stories of the saber's path to the sky, a tree that binds earth, underworld, and cosmos, their words a flame that kindles my soul with awe, as vast as the starry expanse, a narrative that threads the Maya's dreams into the eternal dance of the universe. The saber stands colossal, its trunk a pillar of the world, the air thick with the scent of its bark, and the faint murmur of its leaves whispering secrets older than stone. Roots sprawl like rivers, plunging into the earth's hidden realms, while its canopy stretches wide, a mirror to the heavens' vault, the air pulsing with the scent of its sanctity and the soft gleam of starlight on its boughs. A priest, his cloak adorned with glyphs of the stars, gestures toward the tree, his presence a beacon of wisdom, the air shimmering with the scent of his reverence, a light that warms the circle. The jungle cradles us, its shadows a tapestry of mystery, its stars a guide to the tales unfolding, the air heavy with the scent of its timeless embrace. Firelight flickers, its embers a chorus of amber, the air warm with the scent of burning cedar and the faint crackle of sparks rising like prayers. The priest's hands trace the air, shaping the Kaaba's myth, a tree whose roots drink from Xibalba's rivers and whose branches cradle the god's celestial court. The air glowing with the scent of his story, a rhythm that steadies our hearts. A clay cup of cacao, passed among us, carries the god's bitter blessing, its scent mingling with the night's breath, the air trembling with the scent of its sacredness, a thread that binds us to the Maya's cosmic vision. The Pleiades above pulse bright, their light a map to the saber's heavenly path, the air alive with the scent of their guidance, a canvas for the priest's eternal tales. A young girl, her hair braided with vines, sits cross-legged, her eyes wide as she follows the priest's tale, the air humming with the scent of her wonder and the faint rustle of her cotton skirt. The Siba, the priest recounts, is the axis of the world, its trunk a ladder for souls to climb from the underworld shadows to the starry heights, the air pulsing with the scent of its myth, a rhythm that quickens our breath. An elder, his face etched with time, nods nearby, his jade pendant catching the fire's glow, the air bright with the scent of his memory, a spark that weaves through the grove's hush. The Maya's heart beats here, its tales a river of lore, the air thick with the scent of their unity, a bridge between worlds woven by the saber's might. Binding the Maya's cosmos, the spirit of the saber's path hums with a voice like a quetzal's call, the air weaving its essence with the scent of starlight and the faint pulse of its eternity. O wanderer, thy soul joins the priest's circle, the air trembling with the scent of its tales and the distant murmur of its boughs. The Maya hold their heavens close. their breath a map of the Saiba's climb, a sentinel of their sacred lore, their song a star that lights the night, a spark that glimmers in the firelight, our cadence entwined with the rhythm of their soul's boundless quest. The priest's tale deepens, the air heavy with the scent of ancient roots and the faint echo of a myth where Saba sprouted from the god's first breath. He speaks of Hunabku, the creator, who planted the tree to anchor the worlds, its branches holding the 13 heavens, the air glowing with the scent of his reverence, a spark that binds the listeners. The cacao grows cool in my hands, its scent a reminder of the god's gifts, the air trembling with the scent of its warmth, a rhythm that ties us to the Maya's rituals. The jungle stirs beyond, its shadows a whisper of Xibalba's watch, the air alive with the scent of its mystery, a promise of tales yet to unfold. My gaze lifts to the Saba's crown, where stars seem to nestle in its boughs, the air thick with the scent of their leaves and the faint hum of the priest's voice, as he recounts a hero's ascent to the heavens. A glyph carved into a nearby stone depicts a Siba piercing a starry sky, its lines a hymn to the cosmos, the air pulsing with the scent of its craft, a light that steadies our thoughts. A youth, his hands stained with indigo, tends the fire, the air shimmering with the scent of his effort, a spark that carries the Maya's legacy forward. The Pleiades shift above, their light a silent guide, the air glowing with the scent of their grace, a tapestry woven with the Maya's dreams. The tale weaves on, the air warm with the scent of smoldering copal, and the faint hum of a flute's distant melody drifting through the grove. The priest speaks of the Saba's role in the calendar round, its cycles marking the tree's eternal dance with time, the air pulsing with the scent of its rhythm, a flame that burns through the night. A woman pauses to adjust her shawl, her spirit bright, the air alive with the scent of her quiet strength, a rhythm that weaves through the circle. The Saba's myth is no mere story. It is a map of the soul's journey, a guide for the Maya to navigate the stars, the air trembling with the scent of its truth, a lure that binds us to the heavens. Children of the Maya gather close, their eyes wide as moons, their laughter a soft drumbeat, the air bright with the scent of their joy and the faint patter of their dreams. A boy might clutch a ceiba leaf, his heart tracing the tree's path to the stars, the air humming with the scent of his wonder, a spark that echoes the future. The nobles, too, sit with dignity, their cloaks heavy with embroidery, the air thick with the scent of their pride, the faint murmur of their blessings for their kin. The grove cradles them all, its fire a hearth, its stars a key to the cosmos, an endless vigil beneath the night. Guiding the Maya's heavens, the spirit of the starry path sings with a voice like a jade chime, its breath a melody of twilight's glow, the air cool with the scent of its light and the faint rustle of its cycles. We see the wanderer's heart weave tales of the Maya's hope, the air pulsing with the scent of their wisdom and the distant murmur of their kin. The grove guards their sacred lore, its boughs a pulse of eternity, their trust a bridge to the heavens, our watch a star that never fades, their dreams a rhythm that hums with the cadence of their heart's eternal song. The priest's tale nears its end, the air warm with the scent of firelight, and the faint hum of a final prayer sealing the saber's myth. The listeners lean closer, their shadows pooling like stars, the air alive with the scent of their breath, a rhythm that guides our thoughts. The girl with vine-braided hair sways gently, her hope a spark that binds the past to the future, the air shimmering with the scent of her spirit. The Pleiades above burn steady, their light a mirror to the saber's crown, the air glowing with the scent of their mystery, a promise of truths yet to unfold. The night grows still, the air cool with the scent of dew and the faint murmur of the jungle's slumber. The priest lowers his hands, his tail a beacon, the air alive with the scent of his wisdom, the saber's myth a guide. The cosmic path of the Maya is a flame in my soul, a tree that weaves through starry realms and sacred earth, a story that pulses with their journey. The stars burn above, their light a map, the night alive with the cadence of their unity. We rest here, the air thick with the scent of dreams, the saber's tail a quiet vow to the heavens. I, the first owl of the stars, born of the grove's firelit hush, my wings silent, my gaze eternal, tracing the air with the scent of my flight and the faint echo of my hoot. I arise from the wanderer's heart, the air alive with the scent of his awe and the sharp tang of his dream, soaring above boughs where priests tread, the air pulsing with the scent of their lore and the faint murmur of their kin, tales of a people's soul, cosmos, a legacy that wings the night's embrace, its glow a guide through time's vast maze, a cadence that hums with the rhythm of the Maya soul. O wanderer, thy tale is a star in the Maya's grove, the air vibrant with the pulse of thy wonder and the faint tang of thy quest, a spirit that stirs their heart. The ceiba guards its path, its boughs a silent vow, their reach a map of eternity's climb, the air thick with the scent of their sanctity and the distant hum of their leaves. The people carry their songs, their hearths a chorus of ancient lives. The jungle lifts their dreams, its shadows a tapestry of lore, a legacy that glows in the dusk, a truth that endures, a rhythm that pulses with the beat of the cosmos' boundless heart. As the fire dims, a gentle note stirs in my soul, the air rich with the scent of moss and the faint pulse of a celestial hymn, its chords a golden thread through the dark, weaving the saber's lore into the Maya's eternal saga. Wanderer, owl of the firelit grove, thy tale kindles the cosmos, thy spirit soars the heavens, a name that shines in the tree's embrace, a legacy that glides through the void, a melody that hums like a dream in the spirit of the Maya's stargazers.